When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be at the set of sun. Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon.
Fair is foul, and
Foul
foul
is fair.
Hover through the fog
and
filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt, the latest state.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broilers thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for that the multiplied villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore, but all's too weak. For the brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel which smote with bloody execution. Like Valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade him farewell until he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps. And fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, Mark, no sooner justice had with valour armed compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed this not our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, like the sparrow eagles, or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were like cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled their strokes upon the foe. But I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thy wounds. They smack of honour both. Go, get him surgeons.
God save the king.
The worthy Thane of Rots.
Whence came thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where Norwegian banners flout the sky, fanning our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, began dismal contact, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor. But until that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point rebellious, arm against arm, quelling his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Hooray! Great happiness. No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interests. Go, bid his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth has won.
sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. And right thee, witch, the rump-fed runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, the master of the tiger. But in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
That kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other. I will drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary Semites 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
Weird
Sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, thrice again to make up 9. Peace! The charm's wound up.
So fair and foul a day I have not seen.
What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire? Look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? Ah, you seem to understand me.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail to thee. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical? Or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. Ha, if you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favours nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail, hail.
Lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy yet, much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou shalt be none. So, all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Silo's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman. And to be king stands not within the prospect of belief any more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you gain this strange information, and why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with these prophetic greetings. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and that which seemed corporal melted like breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we did speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
Aha, you shall be king.
Oh, and Cawdor too, went it not so?
Out of the self-same tune and words. Who's there?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. As thick as hail came post on post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence, and poured them down before him. I am sent to bring thee from our royal master thanks, and for an earnest of a greater honour, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he did combine with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, I know not. But his treasons, capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not think your children will be king when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
And that trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. Win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousin, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. This supernatural soliciting cannot be good, cannot be ill. If ill, why hath it given me presence of surprise in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that vision, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock against my ribs in manner unsuitable to nature? Present thoughts are worse than horrible imaginings.
Look how our partner's rapt.
If chance will have me king, then chance may crown me without my stir.
Worthy Macbeth, we wait upon your leisure.
Give me your leave. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, let us to the king. Think on what has happened, and at best time, the interim having weighed it, let us exchange our common thoughts, good to each other. Come, to the king!
Is execution done on Cawdor?
My liege, I spoke with one who saw him die, who did report that frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and then set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed as 'twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I placed an absolute trust. Ah! Worthy Macbeth, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Our duty is to your crown, your state, your children, and their servants.
I will make thee full of going, and dress besides. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved. Come, and deserves no less to have. Come, let me hold you, and take thee to my heart.
And there, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys in wanton fullness seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, thanes, kinsmen, and all you whose place is nearest to us, know this: we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter Prince of Cumberland.
Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must or leap or yet fall down, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye weak at the hand, so let it be. That which when 'tis done, the eye will not see.
Ah, the Thane of Cawdor, from here to Inverness, and make us further in your debt.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make happy the hearing of my wife with your approach. Until then, sir, I take my leave.
Let's after him whose way has gone before, to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success. And I have learned by the perfectest report, they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me, Thane of Cawdor. By which title, before, these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart and farewell. Oh, Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Oh, hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valour of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is thy tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who whatso would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, and almost dead for breath, had scarce more in him than will make up this message.
Well, go, give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself, his horse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come. Thick night. and pull thee in the dunnest smoke of hell. That my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Glamis! Worthy Cordon, greater than both, by the all hail hereafter. Oh, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
Dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Thy face, my Thane, is as a book wherein we read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that is coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak on this further.
Only the cup clear. To alter favour ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Yes. This castle has a pleasant air. It seems noble, and it attends itself to our best thoughts.
And this guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does prove by his loved mansionry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed, the air is delicate.
Ah, see, our beloved hostess. The love that sometimes is our trouble, we still take for love.
All our service, in every point, twice done and then done double, were poor and single business to contend against those honours, deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the hills and had a mind to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as a spur, hath holpen to his home before him. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever.
Come, take me by the hand. Conduct me to my host. We love him well and will continue our graces towards him. Hostess, by your leave.
If it were done, when it is done, then well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and seek with his Circe's success. If but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all, here, but here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'd leap the life to come. But in such cases, we still have judgment here. That we but teach bloody instruction, which being taught returns to plague the inventor. All within the common poisoned chalice, to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his countryman strong, both against the deed. And as his host, who against the murderer should shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will act like angels, trumpets tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, will throw the wicked deed in every eye that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps the one and falls on t'other.
He hath almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will go no further in this business. He hath honoured me of late, and I have won golden opinions from all sorts of people, which be worn now in their newest state and not cast aside so soon.
Ah. So was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now, to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire?
Prithee, peace. I do more than may become a man. Who does more is none.
What beast wast then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make them both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn, as you have done to this.
If we should fail,
we fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I, with wine and wassail so convince, that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie, as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
bring forth men, children only, for thy stern metal should compose naught but males. Will it not be seen when we have daubed with blood the sleepy two in his own chamber, and used their very daggers, that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamour roar upon his death? I
am settled, and bend thee corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away! Mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
She goes down at 12.
I take it 'tis later, sir.
There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. A heavy penance lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Who's there?
A friend.
Good sir. Not yet. At rest. The king's abed. All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters.
I think not of them. But if you could entreat an hour to spend, we could spend it in some hour upon that conversation. If you could spare the time.
At your kindest leisure.
In the meantime, good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you. Lance.
Is this a dagger I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, but see thee still. Art thou, fatal vision, not sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, appearing from the heat oppressive brain? I see thee still, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way I was to go, and such an instrument I was to use. My eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee yet, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, over 1/2 world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Oh, thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they tread, for fear thy very stones should print my whereabouts, and take the horror from the time which now suits with it. While I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell. The moon is down, there's husbandry in hand, the nights are
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. quenched them, hath given me fire. Peace. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Oh, no, sir!
Oh, Lord, I'm afraid I have a wait, 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Ah, I laid the daggers ready, he could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
Done the deed. Dost thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
Aye.
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
As one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and listened, but they did say their prayers and address themselves to sleep.
There are two, lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen, the other. And they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Oh, consider it not so deeply.
Wherefore could I not say amen? I was most need of blessing, and amen's stuck in my throat.
These things must not be thought after these ways, or so it will make us mad.
I thought I heard a voice cry, Macbeth doth murder sleep. The innocent sleep. The sleep that knits up the ruffled care of time. Death of each day's life. Hot bath to sore labour. Good balm to sore eye. O'er nature's second course.
What do you mean?
And still it cried throughout the house, Glamis hath murdered sleep. Therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Oh, why, worthy Thane, was it that thus galled? You do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy wetness from your hand. And why did you bring the dagger from the place? It must lie there. Go and take it and smear the sleepy grooms with blood for it.
I'll go nowhere near. Shame to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the dagger. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. It is the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
What is that knocking? What is with me when every sound appalls me? Could all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. Rather this, my hand, will make the multitudinous seas incarnadine, turning the green one red.
My hands are of your colour. But I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber, and little water clears us of this deed. Your constancy hath left you unattended. More nothing. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
No, myself, 'twere not to know my deed. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking. I wish thou couldst.
It's a lucky indeed. A man might be porter. Porter of Hell's Gate. And they'd have old turning the key. Knock, knock! Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? He's a farmer, and himself in expectation of plenty. Coming time, have napkins in now about you. Here you'll sweat foot. Knock, knock! Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith? Here's an equivocator. Could swear in both the scales against either scale, commit treason enough for God's sake, but could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock! Who's there? Faith, is an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Oh, come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock! Never a quiet! What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. Oh, devil porter no more. I had hoped to let in some of all professions that take the primrose path to the everlasting bonfire. And on and on. I pray you, remember the porter.
Were it so late, friend? You went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, we was carousing till second cup and drink. Sir, is a great provoker of three things.
And what three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep and urine. Lechery, sir. It provokes and it unprovokes. It provokes the desire and takes away the performance. Much drink may be said to be a equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on and it takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him. It makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him to a sleep and giving him the lie leaves him.
I think drink gave thee the lie last night.
Oh, that it did, sir, the very throw on me. But I requited him for his lie. I think being too strong for him. They took up my legs sometimes. Yeah, I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Ah, our knocking has awaked him.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow to both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
Oh, he did command me to call timely on him. I almost slipped the hour.
I could send you to him. Sirrah.
Goes the king hence today?
He does, as he purposes.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. As they say, lamenting's heard in the air. strange screams of death, and prophesying in accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamoured the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
It was a rough night.
My remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! Horror!
What?
Horror!
What now?
Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee. Most sacrilegious murder has broke up the Lord's anointed temple. Stole the life of the building.
The life, you say?
You mean His Majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Awake! Banquo! Malcolm! Awake! Ring the alarm bell!
What is the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
Gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I speak. Oh, Banquo! Banquo! Our royal father's murder.
Oh, woe, alack, what in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
What is amiss?
You are, but you do not know it. The spring, the fountain, the head of your blood is stopped. The very source is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
What? By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed had done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood. So were their daggers which lay unwiped upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Well, who could be wise, amazed, furious, temperate in an instant? There lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood. And there the murderers, still steeped in the colours of their trade, their daggers unmannily breached with gore. Who could refrain? Who had a heart to love and courage in that heart to make love known?
Oh, help me! Hands, oh!
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us, but in the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretence I fight of treasonous malice.
As do I.
So all.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contented.
I'll not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office a false man does easy. This murderous shaft that's shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. I'll to England, therefore to horse.
The heavens, as troubled by man's act, threaten his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. Is the night's predominance, or the day's shame, that darkness does the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it? And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls and flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war on mankind. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why? See you not?
It's known who did this more than bloody deed.
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day. What good could they pretend?
They were suborned, and Malcolm, the king's son, is stolen away and fled, which puts upon him suspicion of the deed.
So 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He's already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors, and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I'll to Fife.
Then I will thither.
God benison go with you, dear cousin, and those that would make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all, as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said that it should not stand in thy posterity, but that thyself should be the root and father of many kings. And if there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it would have been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight, sir, we hold a solemn supper, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We would else have enjoyed your good advice, which always hath been both grave and prosperous in today's council. But we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper, and go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail you not our feast?
My lord, I will not.
We here, our bloody cousins, are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, but filling the hero with strange invention. But enough of that, more tomorrow. Until we meet tonight. Does Fleance go with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and likewise you to their backs. Now, let every man be master of his time, till 7 o'clock. To make the sweetness double sweet, we shall keep ourselves, until that time, alone. Come, dear fellows, come. God bless you. Sir, a word with you. Stand those men without.
They are, my lord, without the palace gates.
Bring them to us. To be thus is nothing. But to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep. And in his royalty of nature reigns that which we should fear. He is the only one that we do fear. He chid the sisters when they first put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Prophet-like, they then all hailed him father to a line of kings. For a fruitless crown upon my head, and a withered sceptre in my grasp, thence to be unlinearly snatched, no son of mine succeeding. If this be so, then for Banquo's offspring have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Banquo, Duncan, have I murdered. To make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than this, come, fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's that? Ah! Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
And both of you know that Banquo was your enemy?
True, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every moment of his being presses against my meaning of life. Which is why I, to you, thus do make love, to have your help, keeping the sundry business from the common eye for many weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Within the next hour, at most, I will show you the place to stand, where to be, and the moment on it. For it must be done tonight, and some way from the palace. And to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance, his son, who keeps him company, and whose absence is no less material to me than that of his father, must meet the fate of that sad hour. Now get thee gone, I shall call for thee again.
We are resolved, my lord.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Aye, madam, I will.
Not that. All spent for our desires, got without content. It's safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep yourself alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think of. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll turn and be herself, while our poor Malice is still in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint. Let both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the terrible affliction of these dreams that plague us nightly. Better to be with the dead, whom we, for peace, have sent to peace, and to lie in night's roaming savagery upon the critical carpet of the mind. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. No steel, nor poison, nor malice domestic, nor foreign levy can hurt him further.
Oh, come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleek all your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your...
I hope be you, dear wife. So full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Knowest now that Banquo and his flayance live?
But in them, nature's copy is not eternal.
There's comfort in that, they are assailable. Be thou jocund. Ere the blat has flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate's summons, the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums has rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, and scarf up the pitiful eye of tender day. And with thy bloody, invisible hands, score and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Thou marvellest at my words. Keep thou still. Great things begun make better still. I ale. Come thou with me.
The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the later traveller apace to gain the time of the inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark, I hear horses.
Give us a light there! Oh!
'Tis he. Those that are already in the court, who are in the note of expectation.
A light! A light!
'Tis he.
Stand to it! It will be rain tonight. Let it come down!
Mother! No!
Treachery!
Get up!
Line of fire!
Yes.
Line! Always prevent! There's but one down. The sun is fled.
We have lost the best half of our affair.
Well, let's away and say what is done.
You know your degrees. Sit down.
Oh, thanks, Your Majesty.
Ourselves prepare the humble host and mingle with the guests. Oh, hostess, keeps her state, but in good time we will request her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their hearts' thanks. Yeah, no. Anon, I will drink a measure the table round. There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
Better him without than thee within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Oh, thou art the best of the cutthroats. Mind you, he's good that did the like for Fleance. If thou did both, thou art done one parial.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Now comes my fit again. I had else been perfect. Free as the rock, as the grounded mart. Now, as the casing air. And now I am cabined, cribbed, confined. Hemmed in by doubts and destiny. But Banquo's safe.
I'm a good lord, safe in a ditch he bides with 20 trenched gashes in his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Oh, right. Now let's good digestion wait on appetite and good health on all. Here had we now our country's honour roofed with a goodly person of our Banquo present, whom we rather charge for mischance than pity for misdoings.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Will please your highness grace us with your royal presence?
Tables
Your Highness,
full.
sit.
Tables full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
But what is that moves your
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Shake not thy gaudy locks at me!
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not...
Oh, sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and have been from his youth. Pray, you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him, and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
And a bold one that may look on that which will appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire authorised by her grandam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces when all's done, or you look but on a stool?
Look, my pretty, look, behold!
Quite a man did fully.
As I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame.
Time was when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end of it. Now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
Oh, I do forget. Muse not so much at me, dear friends. I have a slight infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, drink health. Health all round. Drink full. I drink to the health of the whole table and to our good friend Banquo, whom we miss. To him we thirst, to all and all. May the earth cover thee, thy awful spirit. Thy blood is cold. There is no speculation in those eyes with which thou starest at me.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom, it is no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare? I dare. approach thou as the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, of a Hermon tiger. Take any form than this. If my firm nerve shall tangle then, protest me the baby of a girl, but not now, thou forcing spirit, be gone, avaunt, avaunt. Oh, gone. And I am a man again. Sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting, with most admired disorder.
How can such things be? And overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me sick to think that you can see such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheek when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Oh, pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood. They say blood will have blood. What sayest thou? Macbeth denies his presence at our great bidding.
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way. But I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow to the weird sisters. More shall they speak. For now I am bent to know by the very worst means. The worst. I am steeped in blood so far. Should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, we will to sleep. We are yet but young, indeed.
Why, how now, Hecate? You look angrily.
Have I not reason, beldams as you are, saucy and overbold? How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? Whilst I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, to show the glory of our art. And, which is worse, all you have done have been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. But make amends now. Get you gone. And at the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air. This night I'll spend until a dismal and a fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground, and that, distilled by magic sleights, shall raise such artificial sprites that by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and raise his hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear. For we all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy.
Come away, 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 come away,
Sing and tell a story of this, all the ones I love the mountains, over the fields, misty mountain girl, the stables I was wearing.
come away, 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 take it, come away, come away, come away, come away, come away, come away, take it, come away, come
Ring the
away,
bell to roaring sound, no yell of wolves, no yelp of hounds, and not the noise of lords and Rachel cannons, which are out to reach. Ring the bell to roaring sound, no yelp of hounds, no yell of hounds, not the noise of lords and Rachel cannons, which I can reach.
Hark, I am called. My little spirit, see, sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me.
Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again.
For from broad words and cause he felled his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
That son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with much grace. Thither Macduff has gone to raise the holy king upon his aid to wake Northumberland and warlike Seward, that with the help of these, and him above to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets, bloody knives, do faithful honours, and receive free honours, all which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
War? Sent he to Macduff?
He did, but with an absolute "Sir, not I," the messenger brought back the news and feared that its return would enrage Macbeth on hearing Macduff's answer.
Ah, that may well advise Macduff to caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed. Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Up here, cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw.
Hold that under cold stone, days and nights has 31, sweltered venom sleeping got. Boil thou first in charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble.
Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake.
Eye of newt, toe of
Frog,
Wool of bat and tongue of
dog,
adder's fork,
blind one's sting,
lizard's leg and
owlet's wing.
for a charm of
Powerful trouble,
like a hell broth.
boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble.
Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Finger of birth strangled babe.
Bitch delivered by a drab.
Make the gruel thick and slab. Cool it with a baboon's blood.
Then
The charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done. I commend your pains. Now everyone shall share in the games. Round about your cauldron sing, live elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in.
Round and round and round about, about, all come running in all looking out. Round and round and round about, all come running in all looking out.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open!
Locks.
whoever knocks.
How now, thou secret blackened midnight hags? What is't you do?
Deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it, to answer me, even till destruction sickens, what I ask of you.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou naught.
Macbeth, Macbeth, beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me, enough.
Whate'er thou art, for this good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped upon my fear aright. But one more thing.
He will not be commanded. He is another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth,
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure. I'll take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live. But what is this, which rises like the issue of a king, and wears about his baby brow the crown and top of sovereignty?
Listen to it, but speak not.
Macbeth shall never vanquish thee, until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That can never be. Who can impress the forest, persuade the tree to unfix his earthbound root? Oh, sweet bodements. And yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall upon you. Why sings that cauldron? What is this strange music?
Show,
Show!
Show.
show him his eyes and grieve his heart.
Come
like shadows,
so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown doth sear mine eyeballs. Thy gold-bound brow is the third. No! See, yet another. Why show me this, you filthy hags? A fourth? Will the line go on to the crack of doom? A sixth, a seventh, I'll see no more. Yet an eighth appears, which bears a glass and shows me many more. And some that twofold balls and treble sceptres carry. Oh, a horrible sight, but I know 'tis true. For the blood-bolted Banquo smiles at them and points at them for his. Oh no! Can this be so?
Aye, sir, all this is so, but why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights, that this great king may kindly say our duties did his welcome pay. Round and round and round about town, all come running on the beat out. Round and round and round about town, all come running on the beat out. Round and round and round about town, all come running on the beat
out. Where are they? Gone? Come in without the...
What's your grace's will?
So you're not the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected by the air on which they ride. Damned be those that trust them. I heard the galloping of horse. Who was came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled? To England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The fury is not met unless the deeds go with it. So, from this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And so, to crown these words with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Seize upon Fife. Put to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in their line. No boasting like a fool. These deeds I'll do before my purpose call.
What was it that made him fly the land? His flight was madness. Where our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife, his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence he himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little is the reason where the fight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cousin, pray school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further. Cruel are the times when we are made traitors and know not ourselves, when we hold rumour from what we fear, and yet know not what we fear, but float on a wild and restless sea, each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, Blessings upon you.
He is fathered, and yet he is fatherless. Cyril, your father is dead. And what will you do now? What will you do for a father? And what about thee, poor monkey? How wilt thou live?
I am so much the fool. Were I to stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer. I take my leave at once.
And so should I fly? I've done no harm. And yet I remember I am on this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, to do good often accounted dangerous folly. So why then would I put up this womanly defence to say I've done no harm? What is this face?
Where is your husband?
Well, I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He is a traitor!
No, no, not my children! No, come back here! Stop! Don't take my
I have for 2 nights now watched with you, but can find no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, and afterwards seal it, and again return to her bed, yet all this while in a fast sleep.
A sore aberration in nature, to have the benefits of sleep and do the act of waking. In this slumbery agitation, apart from walking and other performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That's so which I will not report after her.
Oh, you may to me, and it is most meet you should.
Not to you nor to anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo, you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Stand close.
Whence came she by that light?
She has a light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
See, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to be seen thus washing her hands. I have known her to do this for 1/4 of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I must set down clearly what comes from her, to satisfy my memory the more clearly.
Out! Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and a feared. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
Oh, the Thane of 5 had a wife. Where is she now? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has said what she should not, of this I'm sure. Heaven knows what she has known.
Oh, here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is that? The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well, well, well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out of his grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. I hear knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
Will she now go to bed?
Directly.
Foul mischief is afoot. Unnatural troubles do lead to unnatural deeds. Infected minds to their deaf pillows do their secrets discharge. More needs she the divine than the physician. God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, yet still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she hath mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there we pass sad bosoms empty. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each day a new gash is added to her wounds. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. Will you have loved him well? Why in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave-taking?
Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dollar. Not in the legions of horrid hell could come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands.
Hark! Who comes here? Ah, my ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
Good God, betimes remove the means that make us strangers.
Amen to that.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It can no longer be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing once is seen to smile, but sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked. Violent sorrow seems the modern ecstasy, and the dead man's knell is there scarce asked for who. Good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps. dying, or ere they sicken.
Be not a niggard of your speech. How goest?
Now is the time for help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, would make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seaward and 10,000 men, an older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out on the desert air, where hearing could not latch them. The main part pertains to you alone.
Well, if it be mine, quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which must now possess them of the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard. Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heavens! What, man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brow, give sorrow words. For the grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
All my children.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
I must be from thence. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. Oh, my pretty ones. Did you say all? Hellkite all? All my pretty chickens and their dam. In one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I will do so! But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot remember such things that were so precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not play their part? Sinful Macbeth, they would struggle for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it!
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. Gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring down this fiend of Scotland and myself, and within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may, for the night is long that never finds the day.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm Seward and the good Macduff. Revenges burn in them, for their dear causes would, to the bleeding and the grim alarm, excite the mortified man. Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them, that way they are coming. What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. But for certain he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. Now, minutely, revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. And now he feels his title hang loose about him,
like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief, who then can blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience where it is truly owed. Make we our march towards Burnham!
Yay!
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood shall come to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have proclaimed me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man of woman born shall e'er have power upon you. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never crack with fear or doubt with care. Devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where gottest thou that goose look?
There is 10,000, sir.
Geese, villain?
Soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Those linen cheeks of thine are counterfeits of fear. What soldiers, Whiteface?
The English force, so please you, sir.
Take thy face hence. Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold it. Satan! This push will deceit me now or cheer me ever. I've lived long enough. My way of life is passed into the sear, into the yellow leaf. And that which should accompany old age, such as honor, love, and troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses. Oh, not loud, but deep mouth, honor, breath, which the poor man would fain deny, but dare not. Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, as was reported.
Then I will fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Fetch me mine armour.
It is not needed yet.
I will put it on. No. Send out horses. Skir the country round. Hang those that talk of fear, and bring me mine armour. Doctor, how goes thy patient?
Not so sick, my lord, as her mind, which is worried by strange fancies that keep her from her rest.
Well, cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise from the brain its written problems, and with a sweet and exquisite antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of that stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Well, throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it. Sir, fetch me mine armour, and my staff! Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Not now, sir, dispatch. Doctor, if thou couldst, cast the water of my lands, find her disease, and cleanse it to a pure and pristine state. I would applaud thee to the very echo if I couldst.
Your royal preparation tells me something.
No, sir, dispatch! Doctor, what rhubarb, cyme, or purgative drug would we use to scour these English hence? Hast heard of them?
Your royal preparation does tell me something.
Oh, bring it with me, sir. I cannot fear of death or bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit alone would not keep me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing. What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby we shall shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery err in report of us.
We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt. None serve with him, but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let us hold our judgment until the outcome of the battle.
The time approaches that will, with due decision, make us know what we shall say, we have, and what we do. Thoughts speculative, our unsure hopes relate, but certain issues strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war!
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. There, let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we should have met them, careful, in the field, and beat them backward home. What was that noise?
The cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fear. Time was, my very nerve would cool to hear a night shriek, and my fill of hair at a dismal treatise would rise and fall as if life were in it. Dionysus, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once move me. What was that cry?
The Queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow. Creeps in this petty pace. From day to day, to the ending, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty deaths. Out. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou camest hither to use thy tongue, do so.
Gracious my lord, I should report what I say I saw, but I know not how to do it.
Just say, sir!
As I stood watch upon the hill, I looked towards Burnham, And anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within 3 mile may you see it coming. I say, a moving grove.
If thou speak'st false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thou speakest sooth, I care not if thou dost the same with me. I pull in resolution, and doubt the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood shall come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes to Dunsinane. Arm! Arm and out! If that which he avouches does appear, there is no tying hence or tarrying here. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Come wind, come rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now near enough, your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are. You, worthy Seward, shall with my cousin lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon us what else remains to do according to our order.
Very well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Let our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death!
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly. But bear-like, I will fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none.
What is thy name?
Thou'lt be afeard to hear it.
No, though thou call'st thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name is Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No more fearsome.
Oh, thou liest, abhorred tyrant, and with my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I laugh at. Weapons laugh to scorn. Brandished by man that's of woman born.
That way the noises. Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou beest slain, and by no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. Either thou, Macbeth, or else with my sword's unbattered edge, I sheath again undeeded. But here thou shouldest be. By this great clatter, one of greatest note seems bruited. Oh, let me find him fortune, and more I beg not.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? while I see lives, the gashes do better on them.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain, than terms can give thee out!
Ah, thou losest labour. As easy mayest thou the entrenchant air with thy keen sword impress, as make me bleed. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Then let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely wrecked.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed the better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that peddle with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear, but break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield, coward, and live to be the Summer Gate all the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's fate, nor to be baited by the rabble's curse. Though Burnham Wood be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough!
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutation in their minds, and whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail,
King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make you even with us. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What's more to do, which should be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends from abroad, who fled the snares of watchful tyranny. Producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, we shall, by the grace of grace, perform in measure, time, and place. So my thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
All thanes and kinsmen forth they go at once, to spread the happy news the strife is done. The king goes forth amid the happy throng, for to be crowned and there enthroned at Scone. All thanes and kinsmen forth they go at once, to spread the happy news the strife is done. The king goes forth amid the happy throng, for to be crowned and there enthroned at Scone.
Do it again.